It's 11:43 p.m. The bedroom is finally quiet. Your phone is face down on the nightstand, and your female cat steps onto the mattress. Like she has done this 100 nights before. She circles once near your ribs, ignores the expensive bed you bought her, and lowers herself into the narrow strip of space between your body and the edge of the blanket. A minute later, she presses her back into you, so firmly you can feel the heat through your shirt. Sometimes she plants one paw on your arm. Sometimes she ends up by your shoulder, facing the dark hallway, half asleep but not fully off duty. And most people read that moment the same way. She's clingy tonight, she wants warmth, she's using me like a heated pillow. Because if this keeps happening night after night, in the same small zone beside your torso, near your legs, at the foot of the bed, after starting near your chest, that's not random comfort seeking. That is a very specific choice. She had the whole room, the chair with your sweater, the folded laundry. You may even have pushed her away before. Maybe you rolled over, sighed, and thought, not tonight. Maybe you assumed she was anxious, needy, or just being dramatic. Maybe you laughed when she wedged herself against your stomach, like she was bracing for impact. But from her side, the message is far more intimate than most owners realize. From her side of the mattress, this is not romance first, it's surveillance first. A cat lying on your chest is putting her body on a moving drum. She can measure heartbeat, breath rate, muscle tension, the tiny shift in your ribs before you roll. That gives her a live safety readout while she rests. Your body is warm, yes, but warmth alone does not explain it. Why she chooses one exact place over and over, or why she changes spots on nights when your breathing is shallow. Your legs are twitchy, or the room feels off. She is not making a sentimental choice. That is why the location matters. Chest means maximum information, maximum contact, and the highest tolerance for vulnerability. She is close enough to feel your respiratory rhythm, and close enough that your scent and body pressure help settle her nervous system. Feet are different. Feet let her stay connected while keeping an exit lane open. She still has you in her map, still has your smell, your movement, your heat, but she can launch in a fraction of a second. If a door clicks, a pipe knocks, or something changes in the dark, here's what most people miss. When she adjusts where she sleeps, she isn't changing how much she loves you. She may be changing how she manages incoming information. Cats are small predators, but they are also small enough to become prey, so their nervous systems are built around constant threat assessment. Even half asleep, she is tracking sound direction, floor vibration, air movement, and your body state. If she chooses your chest, your heartbeat and breathing are safe background patterns, not alarms. If she chooses your feet, it means trust is there, but mobility still matters. Contact plus escape route, connection without surrender. And that's the real translation of those sleeping positions. Not clingy, not random, not just where it's comfy. It is a map of safety drawn with her body. Where she places herself tells you how much signal she wants from you, how much control she needs over distance, and how relaxed her threat system can afford to be in that moment. Once you see sleep this way, the whole scene stops looking passive and starts looking incredibly precise. What looks sentimental from your pillow is often just physiology doing its job. A cat beside your head is not making a symbolic declaration in the human sense. She is using one of the most reliable data systems she has, scent mapping. Around the cheeks, forehead, and chin, cats deposit facial pheromones that tag people, corners, blankets, and door frames as familiar. So when she wedges her face near your neck or temple, that closeness is not random sweetness, it's chemical bookkeeping. She is folding your smell into a known safety map, and that matters far more to her nervous system than any abstract idea of romance. The same cold logic applies when she sleeps pressed against you, but still keeps part of her body angled for a fast exit. To you, that looks contradictory. If she trusts me, why stay half alert? Because trust in a cat is not the shutdown of vigilance. It's the downshifting of the sympathetic nervous system, without ever fully surrendering environmental monitoring. Cat behaviorists have observed this over and over. Rest is selective, not blind. The ears keep sampling, the skin twitches at tiny air shifts. The eyes, built with a tapetum lucidum that amplifies low light, can track movement long before you register a shape in the dark. So when she seems asleep, but not fully asleep, you are watching a predator-prey animal manage safety with exquisite precision. And the belly-up position people romanticize? That is not a performance for your benefit, it's a costly posture. The abdomen houses vulnerable organs, and exposing it reduces defensive readiness, which is exactly why it means something. Not because she is trying to flatter you, but because her HPA axis is not firing as if danger is imminent. Even the guarding behavior has less fantasy and more sensory math behind it, far more than most people realize. When she sits upright at 2 a.m. facing the door, she is not seeing ghosts and she is not staging a dramatic vigil. She is sampling sound, airflow, vibration, and scent. Her whiskers read turbulence. Her paws and joints feed the proprioceptive system constant information about floor vibration and posture. Her vomeronasal organ helps process chemical cues humans never notice. Between you and the door is not just cute. At the foot of the bed facing outward is not just a habit. Those are positions with the widest sensory advantage and the shortest response path. Once you see the biology underneath it, the whole scene stops being mystical and starts looking exact, almost clinical. And that precision is what makes the bond more real, not less. Before you turn this into guilt, pause. If you're thinking maybe I trained her badly, maybe I made her clingy, maybe I missed some deeper need and now she's managing me because I failed her somehow, that is not what's happening here. You did not break your cat by responding when she stepped onto your lap, or by staying still when she curled into the same warm place near your ribs, or by reaching out when she nudged your hand at 10:43, every night like she had an invisible appointment. That rhythm is not evidence that you've been manipulated in some cold, calculated way. It's what happens when two nervous systems discover a repeatable path to safety. And that matters, because humans moralize patterns that animals simply live inside. You call it spoiling, you call it dependence. You replay the tiny moments like receipts. The feeding at the same hour, the blanket adjusted so she can fit, the vacation plan delayed because she finally fell asleep on your legs. But from her side, this is not a character flaw in you, and it's not a flaw in her. It is co-regulation, it is social buffering. One body learns that the other body lowers uncertainty. That is why she repeats the sequence, and that is why you do too. In other words, if she has trained you, you have trained her right back, and neither of you filed a strategy memo. She tested the world in the only language available to her. Pressure against your arm, a slow blink, a certain meow, a certain hour, a certain spot on the bed. You answered in the only language your species tends to trust. Warmth, stillness, touch, access, routine. That feedback loop is not betrayal of your boundaries. It is how attachment gets built when one participant has words, and the other has whiskers, scent glands, and a nervous system that reads consistency better than promises. And maybe that is the gentlest correction in this whole conversation. You were never supposed to decode her perfectly. You were never supposed to meet a feline sensory world with human intuition and get it right every time. She is using a different system, and you are too. Sometimes you read love where she means regulation. Sometimes she uses regulation to express what, in her species, is as close to love as it gets. That mismatch is not neglect, it's just cross-species communication, with a lot at stake and very little vocabulary. Once you see that, the whole dynamic gets lighter. Not less meaningful, just less haunted by self-blame. Which is important, because what comes next is where her quietest signal becomes the clearest one. So don't turn this into a training project. Don't test her, don't lure her closer. Don't try to strengthen the bond with some complicated nighttime routine. If she already chooses your bed, your side, your feet, your arm, the smallest useful thing is almost embarrassingly simple. The next time she settles near you, stay still for 1 full minute and give her 1 slow blink. No calling her name, no reaching out right away. No scooping, kissing, repositioning, or deciding this is the perfect moment to prove how loved she is. Just let your body become predictable. Let your breathing slow. Let your eyes soften and close halfway, then open again. In cat language, that tiny pause can land as non-threat. Low arousal, safe proximity, not performance, not obedience. And then watch, does she loosen her shoulders? Tuck her paws, turn her back toward you? This does not mean you failed your cat. It usually means you were reading a feline safety system with human assumptions. Try it tonight and notice one thing only. After your slow blink and stillness, does she settle closer? Stay the same or leave and return later. Put that exact detail in the comments. Not my cat loves me, not it worked. Just the distance she chose. Because once you see that choice clearly, her quietest signal stops feeling mysterious and starts feeling unmistakable.